To the MI, brr, cat like a semi. Nigga stole my car, won't you get mine? Give your ass a black eye. Oh, say bye-bye. I'ma give your body to the sky.
I spent much of lockdown watching her videos over and over again because, quite simply, they are joyous. A choreographer whose work reflects the world, gay and trans rights, Black Lives Matter, and gender equality. She's been giving virtual dance classes during the health crisis. You might know her for her work with more than 60 artists in the music world, such as Janet Jackson, Justin Bieber, Usher, Chris Brown, Rihanna, and many more. Let's welcome Galen Hooks to the show. Hello, Galen.
Hi.
Now, you've had such a positive presence during this difficult period where we can't dance together, we can't go and watch dance performances, but you've been posting really positive, uplifting videos. What's this time been like for you?
Oh man, this time has been a roller coaster, as I'm sure it has been for everybody who's tuning in here. I think it's pretty hard not to feel like you're on a roller coaster right now. I mean, the revelation during kind of the real downturn of what was happening, what still is happening in America with all the police brutality and the discussions around race. As an artist, this is one of the first times I've kind of felt like there's something that I can contribute with dance. Dance is just something that I've loved my whole life. So being able to post positive imagery of marginalized groups and groups that are being treated absolutely horrifically in the States right now is at least something I can add to the conversation.
And you posted a video in June to the music of Daniel Caesar and Her to celebrate Black Lives Matter and also Pride. I couldn't stop watching it. Let's just take a look.
And it don't change. If I had it my way, you would know that you are. You're the coffee that I need in the morning. You're my sunshine in the rain when it's pouring. Won't you give yourself to me? Give it all. I just want to see.
Why is it important to share these videos, and what power do they have, do you think?
There was just a very short period of time where we were just inundated with these horrific, violent images of what's happening to people. And I was sitting looking at the footage that I have of these just beautiful, hopeful, artistic representations of both Black people in America, people from the LGBTQ community. If you're sitting at home and you're only being inundated with negative imagery of people that you look like or that you connect with and that you can recognize yourself in, of course it's going to be hard to then feel motivated to have any sort of success. If you see two people dancing together of different races in a loving way that is pure and genuine, the way that that is portrayed through art, I think has a different landing on our hearts than if you just see a photograph of an interracial couple or a photograph of a gay couple. There's things that dance can say that we can't say verbally and that you can't say in just a regular acting scene that I think is really, it penetrates in a different way. And so I'm learning that it's very important. And I, in my dance classes, make it a really big point to be inclusive. In the dance studio, it's one thing to have that kind of impact and all of the students in the room can see that happen. But then thankfully we have social media and I can then blast that out to the world.
You've been a choreographer and dancer for more than 20 years. Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you discover dance?
I started dancing when I was 3. My mom put my sister and I in dance classes. As any parents out there can relate, it's kind of like a babysitting thing. It's like, let's just throw the kids in whatever hobby they might take to. And I took to dancing. And I started working in the entertainment industry when I was 7 because I grew up outside of LA. So both dance and the entertainment industry, music videos, film, commercial TV, has been my entire life.
And you've done so many things already during this career. You performed in TED Talks in 2012 and had one of the longest standing ovations ever in the history of TED, with Bill Gates in the audience.
Yeah.
an interview that you did about that. This was a big moment for you. Why was it so important?
That was a performance for TED Talks with a group called the LXD, which stood for the Legion of Extraordinary Dancers. We had a series on Hulu for 3 seasons and did a lot of pretty groundbreaking live performances at TED, on So You Think You Can Dance, at the Oscars, at the Guggenheim in New York. I think in recent years there have been more opportunities for dancers to really be in the spotlight, but certainly at that time period, there weren't many opportunities to be praised as a dancer without dancing behind an artist or without being part of a film or selling a Coke in a Coke commercial. So the TED Talks performance was just us showing dance, and the talk was from John Chu. John Chu is now all over the place. He directed Crazy Rich Asians and he is killing it. He directed In the Heights, which is coming out soon. So John created the LXD and did a TED Talk about dance and how dancers are superheroes. And to have that sort of wave of love from the audience when they did the standing ovation, it was like just a flood of support. You could see them crying in the audience, and that really means so much to have a non-entertainment audience show that sort of love and support to you as a dancer.
And we're living in this strange moment in time with the Black Lives Matter protests in particular. And some of the most powerful moments that we've witnessed on the streets during this time have been dancers and dancing. Let's take a look.
My name is Nora, and I hope to be an instrument of your peace and bring love where there is hate. My name is Sharon, and I hope to make a change by bringing faith where there is doubt.
My name is Rosa. I hope I can bring light where there's darkness.
I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor and even worse.
The young generation, I think they are the next generation, and they want to grow up in a world with no racism. So I think that's important. People have to really tell them what's happening now, what the problem is and the solution. And I think that's how we can change what is happening now. And also people talk about being kind, but if you really show that you can be kind, do your actions, then it will tell way more. Yeah, and exactly. Also with love, if you demonstrate love, it says more than just talking about love.
That's the way it is.
So some of the dances we've seen at the protests focus on traditional African steps dating back to slavery. Others in defiance and anger at police brutality. What role can dance play in this movement, do you think?
The movement that came from slavery and the dance was born out of a stripping away of other ways of communicating. Language was stripped away, music was stripped away, and dance was one way to communicate as a slave. Dance in other cultures, so much of the time, is a sense of celebration. For there to be dance vocabulary that's born out of necessity from things being taken away from you is obviously a hurtful history for some of this movement. Obviously, so there's also dance movement that does come from that sense of celebration and storytelling, but we're really connected to those roots right now because dance is able to immediately cut through a sense of otherness and make the person on the other side, if it's a policeman in riot gear, immediately cut through the us versus them. And you are able to see, like I said before, it's dance can communicate things that we can't say. It's not just an important tool right now for things that I'm posting where it's dancing in a studio and you watch it and you feel a different way seeing that representation. But out on the streets, in the thick of things, it makes it capable for us to use our bodies in a way, in a form of protest, in a form of activism that is so unique and non-threatening, non-confrontational, but very loud in what it's saying.
And you've worked with so many big stars. Camila Cabello thanked you personally for your choreography when she won the MTV award for her video Havana. That video has had something like 900 million views on YouTube, which is crazy. Tell us about someone you really love working with.
Snoop is I toured with him for years. That was during Drop It Like It's Hot, which was like, I mean, that song was the coolest thing ever. So we were touring with Pharrell and with Erykah Badu, and it was just the best time ever. And we went to places that most artists don't travel to because he is globally beloved. So we went to a lot of unique countries, and he's just the best. I also love Neo. A lot of people sometimes recognize me from his string of music videos from his Libra Scale album. I was in the 1 in a Million video and Beautiful Monster. And so he is just the greatest, sweetest gentleman ever and treats everyone that he works with wonderfully. And I was no different. He's treated me wonderfully. So Snoop and Neo are definitely up there in my favorites to have worked with.
And you've also been giving online classes during this time, teaching the Galen Hooks methods. And you've been holding an event this week called Night of Dance, which is digital this time. It's not, it's a big dance event. And when this program will actually be broadcast, the event will have taken place. But tell us about it.
So Night of Dance is typically, it is like coronavirus heaven. It is hundreds of people in a room packed dancing together. So we cannot do those physically in person right now. But typically it's an in-person, several hundred person dance class night. It's open to any skill level, any age. You can mess up. It's not like a strict dance class. So I am doing it virtually. And I'm gonna, like, you can print your virtual wristband to put on so you feel like you're at an event, and there's giveaways and you can post yourself doing the routine. I'm sure most people would respond by going, oh, I'm not good, or like, oh, that's gonna be too hard for me. I'm telling you, I have people who have never once taken a dance class that come to these classes.
And we always end our show with our guests' cultural pick of the moment. What have you chosen for us?
So I have chosen a song by an artist that I'm working with right now, Isabella Merced. She is an actress. She played Dora in the Dora movie that came out recently. She's in Sicario. She's wonderful and very young and very talented. So she has a song that just came out called Apocalypsis, and I choreographed the music video over Zoom with her a couple weeks ago. So it was my first quarantine music video that we made.
Okay, we're going to play out with that. Galen Hooks, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for your incredible work during this time. See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Apocalypse.